Foundations of Amateur Radio. A recurring question for new entrants to our hobby, and truth be told some experienced ones as well, is what's the best handheld to buy, or the best antenna, or the best base station, the best coax, the best mount, the best software, the best something. There's a principle in engineering: good, fast and cheap. Pick any two. You can have good and fast, but it won't be cheap. You can have fast and cheap, but it won't be good. You can have good and cheap, but it won't be fast. The concept of quality is balanced between these limits. With that in mind, answering the question in search of the best is already a trade-off. To muddy the waters further, there is an economic principle related to pricing. It goes a little like this. If you sell an amateur radio gadget for $50, there's a group of people who will buy it. There's a group of people who will have paid more for the same thing, and a group of people who can't justify $50. If you make the price higher as a manufacturer, say $75, you'll get more money from some people, but the group of people who can't justify the price will get larger, so you'll sell less gadgets. If you make the price $25, you'll sell more gadgets, but you won't capture the income from those who are prepared to pay $50 or $75. So, as a manufacturer, you make 3 gadgets, one for $25, one for $50, and one for $75. They're all essentially the same, but the market will lap it up. Of course, between $25 and $50, there's a group of people who would have been happy to pay more, etc., ad infinitum. That's our amateur radio gadget marketplace today. The price points might not all be taken up by the same manufacturer, but the market price for, say, a handheld radio goes from somewhere around $40 to over $1,200. You'll find the range completely filled with offers. As an aside, your local telco is doing the same thing, as is your mobile phone manufacturer, your internet service provider, and your car manufacturer, to name a few. So now what? We're looking for the best gadget. Since you're going to be the one using it, your definition of best is going to be different to my definition. I care about my handheld being waterproof, but I don't care about having a torch, a compass, a thermometer, or a GPS on board. You might want to take it hiking, where I'm more likely to use it on a field day. This means that asking another amateur, what's the best, is a recipe for discussion. Some will be adamant that their selection is superior to that of another amateur, but you should now already know that this is completely subjective. If you go down the scientific route, you might use receiver sensitivity as a metric. If that's all you care about, the choice is easy. List them all by sensitivity and pick the one that's the most sensitive. But the battery life might be abysmal, or it might not use the frequency you care about, or it might have some other extra function you're paying for but don't care about. We get down to picking from a list. If you're anything like me, and let's face it, we're all amateurs here, you'll get to a point of making a list of the options you have, selecting the best antenna, the best power supply, the best base station, handheld, mobile, car, service contract, you name it. It always comes to a list. Here's how to pick. Is option A better than B? Yes, remove B. Is option A better than C? No, remove A. Is option C better than D? No, remove D. Is C better than E? Etc., etc. You might be concerned about the ones that you've removed. You already decided that there was a better option than the one you removed, so ignore them. They're just muddying the water. If you want to ask another amateur what they bought and why, that's a whole field of exploration. But if you ask them what's the best gadget, that's just asking for trouble. I'm Ono, Victor Kilo 6, Foxtrot Lima Alpha Bravo.